Okay, good day everyone. Welcome to this particular session, the chapter 4, Criminal Law and Justice System. This is the last part of our coverage for the midterm examination. Now, criminal law class is so vital because based on the definition, this criminal law sets boundaries on behaviors that threaten public welfare, safety, and order. It does not only punish individuals for harmful actions, but more so, this criminal law prevents crimes because this is a form of deterrence. In the Philippines, in our country class, our criminal justice system is built on multiple interconnected parts, such as the police, court, and the rehabilitation centers called as corrections. Now, what really constitutes a crime class? Well, in simple terms, a crime is any behavior or act that the law prohibits because it's harmful to the society. But technically, based on the revised penal code, crime is defined as act or omission punishable by law, and these are known as felonies. For us to understand really the definition, we need to unlock the term. First, legally, what is an act? An act is a deed or conduct that violates the law. For example, committing theft by taking another person's property without the consent, then with intent to deprive the owner permanently of that property, that act is an example of a felony, and the crime is called as theft. That is under Article 308 of the Revised Penal Code. Hence, the act of physically taking the property is a crime. Okay? Because that act is a deed or conduct that violates the law. Now, for the omission, omission refers to the failure to act when there is a legal duty to do so. Okay? Meaning, criminal liability arises not from just a prohibited act, but also from a person's inaction that leads to harm or risk to others when there is a need, a necessity, a duty to act. Okay? Example, assuming class there is a public official who fails to report the known graft and corruption activities that have been happening in a certain department. So that situation, the law mandates that there has to be an action to be done. Okay? If that public official fails to report, that falls under the term omission because there is a legal duty to report the corruption. However, that public official fails to do that, that is an omission. An omission class is also punishable by law. Okay? Based on the definition of the crime provided under the revised penal code. Now, let's talk about the felonies. Felonies class, this refers to or this can be committed through deceit or fault. Okay? Now, this deceit or dolo class refers to when the act is performed with deliberate intent, meaning gituyo gyud. Okay? Because deceit refers to acts committed with not just deliberate intent but malicious intent, meaning the offender knowingly and willingly performs an unlawful act with the intention of causing harm or violating the law. Example, there is a person who, with intent to kill, shoots another person and causes the immediate death of that other person. Hence, there's a crime called murder or homicide. It depends upon the situations, elements involved, but either of the two. So again, that is a felony committed through deceit or dulo. Kay gituyo gyud. Okay? Now, for culpa or fault, this happens when the wrongful act is the result of imprudence, negligence, or lack of foresight or lack of skill. For instance, nag-drive si Mr. A class. Then, on the course of driving, suddenly Mr. A hits a pedestrian, and that has resulted to the pedestrian's serious injury. So, this can be classified as a reckless imprudence resulting in physical injuries. In layman's term, in vernacular, nagdanghag pag-drive si Mr. A. And that fault of Mr. A is still punishable because crime refers to act or omission punishable by law, and these are known as felonies class. Okay? Now, for something to qualify as a crime class, furthermore, it must involve the following elements. The first element is actus reus. Number 1. This is the physical action or illegal omission that constitutes the crime. For example, in a case of theft, the actus reus or the guilty act is the act of taking someone's property without the owner's permission. So that is the actus reus. Okay? Ang pagkuha sa butang nga dili imuha og walay pananghid sa tag-iya. That is, the actus reus or the guilty act. And this is one of the elements of crime. Now, for number 2, mens rea. Mens rea class, this is a mental intent behind the act. In other words, this is the motive. So for a crime to occur, the person must know that they are doing something wrong or intend to do something illegal. Okay? Example, if Maria picks up someone's phone by mistake, thinking that it is hers, there is no existence of mens rea or guilty mind, because Maria's taking of the property is purely out of mistake. Okay? So Maria's mind does not have really the motive to take that property. It just happened that she had committed a mistake from taking that, thinking that she owns the property, but it doesn't belong to her. Okay? And that is mens rea. Now, for number 3, concurrence class. This connects the action to the harm caused. Okay? So, for instance, the defendant's action must directly result in harm or damage. But pasabot, ang action sa usa ka tawo maoy hinungdan nga niresulta sa maong damage. Okay? Example, suppose that Mr. A punches Mr. B. This has resulted to breaking the nose of Mr. B. In here, Mr. A's action is the direct cause of Mr. B's broken nose. Okay? Therefore, in connection with causation, ang hinungdan nganong nabuak ang ilong ni Mr. B is the sumbag of Mr. A. So the sumbag of Mr. A has resulted to the broken nose of Mr. B. And this is the causal effect or causation. Okay? That this connects the action to the harm produced or caused. Now, for the fifth element of crime, the harm, the crime must result in harm to a person, to the property, or to the society. Okay? Harm could mean class, physical injury, property damage, or social disturbance. Okay. For instance, there's a person who spreads a virus knowingly, intentionally, okay? He may be committing a crime if others are also infected with the virus that the person intends to spread. So that is the harm caused and produced of that person's dangerous action. Okay? That is for the fifth element of crime known as harm. Now, crimes are categorized based on um, severity and nature class. Okay? So in here, we have the three categories. First, felonies. When we say felonies class, it refers to serious offenses that involved substantial harm or moral wrongdoing. This can include crimes like murder, rape, and armed robbery, all others, and the like. So felonies class carries severe penalties, including the long-term imprisonment or even life sentences. So, generally class felonies carry penalties ranging from reclusion temporal, that means 12 years and 1 day to 20 years, or reclusion perpetua, 20 years and 1 day to 40 years, or again, lifetime imprisonment. It depends upon, the presence of aggravating circumstances. Okay? Now, example for this, a person who plans and carries out a bank robbery involving weapons and hostage taking is likewise committed. So, due to the planned intent and the high level of harm produced by the action of that robbery committed by that person, so this person could be charged of, robbery, and the penalty attached to it could possibly be 20 reclusion temporal, 12 years and 1 day to 20 years or onwards. Okay? It could also be reclusion perpetua, the imprisonment of 20 years and 1 day to 40 years, and so on. Okay? Now, for misdemeanors class, this refers to less serious offenses with lighter penalties, like theft, simple assault, or a public disturbance, kanang nag-videoke ka, gabiing dako. So, misdemeanors class usually result in shorter sentences, fines, or even the penalty of just probation. So, misdemeanors are usually, carrying the penalty of arresto mayor. That means an imprisonment of 1 month and 1 day to 6 months, or a prison correctional, imprisonment of 6 months and 1 day to 6 years, depending upon the case may be class. Okay? Now, for number 3, the infraction or violation, these are referring to minor offenses that, don't typically involve harm, but violate public regulations like traffic violations, like littering, infractions that are usually, punishable by fines. Okay? Kana you shall be caught jaywalking right there in, in a particular street. So these are considered as infraction or mere violation. So now, class, let's talk about the Philippine criminal law. So Philippine criminal law, this is the backbone of the criminal law in the Philippines. And when we talk about this, we are referring to the RPC, or the Revised Penal Code of the Philippines. This was established in 1930, and this Revised Penal Code, class, outlines all crimes, their categories, and penalties. RPC, or Revised Penal Code, is divided into two books. The book 1 refers to the general principles, the criminal liability, the types of penalties, and other rules rather regarding how crimes are punished. Now, for book number 2, this entails specific crimes like crimes against persons, murder, against property, theft, robbery, and also the assigned penalties are likewise stated. So for special penal laws, this refers to, the enacted laws by Congress. Again, special penal laws rather, are the enacted laws by Congress. Example, we have the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act, the Public Act 9165, the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act, the Cybercrime Prevention Act, and there are thousands of special penal laws, class, which are enacted by enacted by Congress, because that is the job of Congress, right? Congress it legislates. This is the law enacting body, no, of the three branches of the government. Now, the Philippine criminal justice system is made of three main components. We have the police, the courts, and the corrections. Police, class, they are considered as the first responders who investigate, gather evidence, and apprehend suspects. Okay? Example, in a theft case, no? Kawat gyapon. The police would start by visiting the crime scene, collecting physical evidences like fingerprints, like forced entry, like anything that could be linked to the culprits or culprit, or even surveillance footage, interviewing witnesses to build a case. Okay? Gathering of evidences, crime scene reconstruction, in order to determine the possible perpetrators and build up the case. So when the police are ready, the perpetrators are identified, then evidences are also present, then it's time for the police to file the case. Where would the police file the case, class? It will be in the courts. And so, this time, once the case is already prosecuted, the case is within the jurisdiction of the court, wherein the court handles the trials, decide guilt or innocence, and determine the appropriate sentence, okay, based on the apprehension and appraisal of the honorable judge. Okay? Example, after the police presents the evidences in a robbery case or in a theft case, the court would conduct a trial to assess the evidence and ensure that both sides, the prosecution and the defense, are being heard, because that is a constitutional guarantee, the right to due process, class. Okay? Now, for corrections or the rehabilitation centers, this involves the rehabilitation and reintegration of the convicted individuals. It includes both imprisonment or community correctional programs, and the aim of these activities is to prepare these once convicted individuals for the reintegration or re-entry into the society. Wherein the final phase of rehabilitation, it occurs, it happens in the society. The society has a significant role class for a certain once convicted individual is completely rehabilitated. That is why once a person has already served sentence in jail, of course, expectedly, he is going to be back in the society. And if the society would not become a contributory factor for the person's total rehabilitation, because this convicted person is being discriminated, is being marginalized, is being stereotyped, is being castigated every now and then, most likely that person who is out already from jail, who is released because he serves the sentence already, that person has the tendency to commit again a crime because the final stage of rehabilitation, the society does not accept the person. So, in that scenario, it is underscored how crucial the role of society is for these convicted people to be completely become productive individuals. There has to be a second chance, a second chance for these once convicted individuals. Otherwise, crimes can be repeated. Okay, the crimes that they had committed in the past most likely would be committed again, or it could be a different crime still committed by these um, ex-convicts. Okay, now for the police role and challenges class, it is without a doubt that while the police are essential for maintaining the law and order, these honorable men in uniform may face also challenges, such as the, you know, the corruption and abuse. No, some officers misuse their power, which can lead to mistrust among the public. And take note, community is so significant also in order to solve crimes. No, that's why the police, the Philippine National Police, has the program Police Community Relation, because this organization acknowledges that the community is a stakeholder, is a potent variable for the PNP to be efficient in performing the quality public law enforcing or services to the people class. Okay? So there has to be reforms, no, in the organization, such as accountability measures, the training of the policemen should be enhanced, and based on the study, community-based policing is also needed class. Now let's talk about the role of courts and judicial independence. Well, it is a public knowledge that the courts are responsible for interpreting and applying the law fairly, no, as one of the three branches of the government. We were discussing this before. So, judicial independence class means judges make decisions based solely on facts, on the provisions of the laws, and fairness. Judges must be free from outside external influence. Neither do judges have to accept the under the table businesses, as what they call it. Okay? So, imagine class, example, a controversial case where a judge must make a fair, impartial ruling despite the public pressure, because the case is involving a high-profile, powerful, rich individual. Judicial independence must protect this judge's ability to make decisions that his or the judge's decisions must be anchored on objectively the provisions of the law, okay, and must not be pressured with the power, with the wealth, and other external factors present on such incidents or occurrence class. Though judges are also human beings, but they know pretty well the significance of their objectivity class. Okay? Because they are the arbiters. Okay? The courts are, the one who interpret the law and the one who determines whether or not the person is guilty of the crime charge. Now let's talk about the rehabilitation centers or the prisons, no? The correction centers. So correction class include rehabilitating and reintegrating convicted people or offenders. Okay? So in our Philippine correctional system, the BUCOR or the Bureau of Correction and the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology or BJMP, these agencies of the government are responsible for the custody and rehabilitation of convicted individuals for various crimes. The assignment of inmates to either BUCOR or BJMP facilities, it depends on the length of their sentences as determined by the judge. Okay? Then the other factor of that, the other factor is the severity of the offenses committed. So, Bureau of Correction class oversees individuals sentenced to imprisonment for more than 3 years. Bot pasabot og tulo ka tuig kapin ang sentensya sa usa ka tawo nga gipahamtang sa judge. These convicted individuals or inmates, will be placed in Bureau of Corrections. Okay? Because these inmates are typically convicted of serious offenses. Okay, example like murder, like rape, robbery with violence or intimidation, drug trafficking, kidnapping for ransom, and all others. Okay? So individuals convicted of the crimes that I enumerated class, the penalties of those crimes ranging from 12 years and 1 day to 20 years, reclusion temporal or reclusion perpetua, the imprisonment of 20 years and 1 day to 40 years. So it depends upon the circumstances and the applicable laws, based on the appraisal of the judge. So, for the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology class, the agency is responsible for individuals sentenced to imprisonment of 3 years or less. Okay? Or to those accused who are awaiting trial. So, typically, the offenses under BJMP's jurisdiction, it includes the following: the theft, I'm just enumerating the most common ones, class, slight physical injuries, grave threats, estafa, acts of lasciviousness. Okay? These crimes involve the imprisonment from arresto minor, 1 day to 30 days, or prison correctional 6 months and 1 day to 6 years, depending upon the severity and the circumstances present. So, these are the takeaways, class, that you have to remember, that criminal law and justice system ensure the people's safety and the rights are being upheld. Okay? So, the revised penal code, the special laws or justice institutions, this guide the rule of criminal procedures. Okay? So I had already stated the cycle, that we have the police, that we have the courts, and we have the rehabilitation centers known as corrections. the Bucor and the BGMP. So reforms and understanding of criminal justice components, this fosters fairness and accountability class. So let's think of the criminal justice system as a well-maintained ecosystem where each component, like the police, the courts, and the corrections, functions as part of a balanced environment. Okay? The police are the ecosystem's guards, ensuring that everything stays in order by addressing immediate threats. Now, the courts are like the ecosystem's decision makers. They carefully analyze situations and determine how each member should be treated to maintain the balance, to maintain the equilibrium. Then, corrections or correctional institutions, the Bureau of Correction and the BGMP, Bureau of Jail Management and Penology class, these agencies act as the restoration team. They work to rehabilitate the offenders so that these offenders can be reintegrated into the society and become productive citizens again to our motherland, Philippines class. Just as each species and element in an ecosystem has its unique role in keeping the system thriving, every component class of the criminal justice system contributes to upholding the public safety, the fairness, and the justice. Okay? So, by understanding these rules and how they interact, we gain a holistic view class of how laws are enforced, how justice is being rightfully served, and how rehabilitation process is being pursued and conducted. Now, our justice system relies on each part working together and each holding its responsibility to ensure that the whole thing remains stable and highly just for the promotion of the common good, for the betterment of the present and future generation class. Okay? So for any questions, it just will be answered the moment we're going to be inside the classroom. Thank you so much, and it is hoped that you have learned something very significant for this particular chapter 4. Okay, goodbye everyone.